My name is Godwin Gaza Josiah, and I'm a filmmaker.
Yeah, my name is Ronald I'm a cinematographer.
Let's do this! Rock, paper, scissors. We need to do that again there. Rock, paper, scissors.
That's the God.
Yeah, he won the rock, paper, scissors thingy. Oh God! Oh shit!
Now you go to blasting. Now why you good?
Oh God! Oh.
When you look at this, God has done it.
The sun rises behind her eyes, but she still can't see it. And she's beside me, I walk slowly. She feeds my soul all the gold I could need. This whole time I've been searching for the wrong thing.
Game of Two was a very, very experimental film, and it was a failed experiment actually. That's what I call it. So.
There's a journey of exploration that a filmmaker must do to make something good, right? And for a very long time, we have always had it in mind to create something outside our comfort zone. The crazy thing is we are so comfortable with action, sci-fi, and cool blockbuster films that making this film made me realize that dramatic films are not, a stronghold for us and for me personally also. And so since this film, came out, I took it as a challenge upon myself to improve in specifically writing drama and portraying drama in screen. I will not say I'm proud of this work, but it's out and there are a few audiences who love it. So that's the weird thing about art. It's very subjective. Let's watch Game of Two.
Alice, that's her name. The name of a lady who... The name of a student.
Quick disclaimer, this is not my vision.
Okay. Anyways, I shot this film. Yes, cinematographer. You understand?
Yeah.
No one. So it was fine. There were a lot of fine shots to work with last, but it's like everything felt unnecessary. The voiceover in the beginning, this part that is playing, I think we recorded the voiceover about 3-4 times, like different days. Like record the voiceover again because the other one sounded somehow. So I don't know. It was just a very, very difficult thing to do. This film.
Alice got into a big mess for the sake of love.
So I go to public places, cry, and see I'm back.
Hold up! What was that? Go to public cry.
This film was a learning. It was to learn basically. It's like doing something to show that you know how to do it, rather than adding a reason or a solid idea to it, right? We had a concept for the story. We had a concept for what we wanted to do, and we kept watering it down. Because we wanted to do drama. And the story we had was too action or too sci-fi-ish, and we just wanted to tone it down to drama.
See, she did this once, and she did it again and again.
Problem is, they said she's going to be crying. She's going to places to cry. and it's only 2 of the shots out of like 5, 6 that she's crying. Why? So I think that actually makes it, that confuses everything, because now you're watching her not cry, and if you did not get that part in the narration, you will not understand that she's supposed to be crying. So you'll be like, what is even going on actually?
It was more of getting the shots right than getting the idea behind the shots right. And so that really messed, the whole thing up. And at the end of the day, we were shooting for a beautiful frame.
Yeah.
And forgetting how much of the story like we needed to capture.
Chief, opening shot, take 2, and action!
Yeah, and another thing is the visuals. Yeah, if we were focused on the shots, yeah, wanted fine shots, beautiful locations, fine costumes, whatever. We did all that, and then it's like we left out like the major part of the film, which is like focusing on the story, the action, or whatever was going on, right? The acting too. So the thing is, I'm not going to say try and leave visuals out of it and make sure you have like a solid story, because if you now have that one and then your visuals is like poor, they will bash you for your visuals. Just focus on everything. Storytelling is very, very important, but I'll say it's more important than the visuals. So if you can pour your energy into the storytelling itself, then just calm down on the visuals thing. Do you get me?
I'm an actor in this film too, and you're about to see my acting. So I was trying to balance acting and directing. And I don't think I'm ever going to do that for a dramatic film, because a dramatic film needs you to, give your all in a sense, right? I think it's particularly hard to direct a drama and star in it at the same time. If it was action, it was just, let's shoot,
Punch
this guy. That would have been easier. But this, I was trying to direct her, and nobody was directing, my acting. Nobody was telling me what I was doing wrong. Why were you crying earlier, if I may ask?
I don't know.
Oh, I get it.
What do you get?
It's crying. Everybody cries. I cry sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I hate love stuff.
Apart from I'm an art guy, this thing is just cringe. Jesus.
This is the most cringe thing.
The conversation no dey flow.
This is the most
It's not even flowing enough for you people to fall in love. What is going on? Interesting fact, the editing of this film, it went into 3 hands. I think 2. 3 hands, me and Godwin.
It started from my hand. But
Yes.
I left. I was not around anymore.
Then it moved to
Then
me.
It went to
And then it moved to Richard.
Yeah. Beautiful
Look at the shots.
God! This is so beautiful.
It's the cinema shot. That was the best location. We had the cinema to ourselves. We were just putting lights everywhere. That light. I think the shots are fine.
This film has it's probably the film with the best composition. But yeah, but just look at these shots. Look at these shots, for instance, here, right? And we have not done a shot like this before. We have not done a shot like this before, a cinema shot. I've seen lots of Nigerian films cinema shots. I've seen lots of American movies cinema shots. I've seen lots of Indian films cinema shots. But this particular cinema shot is standard. If you are going to equate standard, like standard cinema shot, right? You can actually put this in the picture too. So the shots are good. The shots are nice, right? And somehow, while I started my editing and I had my first cut, I realized that, shit, we've messed up. We've messed up big time. And I don't think this can be corrected. Eric, I know he's going to be angry that I mentioned his name, is a co-writer of this. Eric is the first writer of this film. It's sad that this was the first project that we actually collaborated on, because from the very first version he wrote an action masterpiece that I think we are going to revisit one of these days. But the team wanted drama, and so we had to tone the film down and do this at the end of the day. But I showed Eric this film, and Eric was like, "The world must not know." The world must not know this happened.
Plus his version was very good, and it was high budget. We could do it. we could have done it actually, but I don't know.
It would have
It
messed
was.
us up.
It would have
Yeah,
just.
at that point,
it would have
we could
removed
not-
the entire point of the
Yeah.
experimentation and whatever, and
Doing-
trying to make a dramatic film
Yeah,
because it would just be like doing what we do normally.
Yeah.
So
Which would have been dope, but we wanted to test
Yes,
ourselves and test new waters. And in the next few days to come, if she is the one we have been searching for, then we will know. So. I don't know, I can't see it from a viewer's perspective, but I think that most of the people who got to see Game of Two always pointed out the fact that the big reveal of him being a spy and all that was, a very beautiful part of the film. And so, I have a bias towards the film, from the very point where we could not make the action one work and we had to water this down. And then we had to go three different editors, So my bias towards the film is very strong. But I must really say, I like how this particular part of the film, this scene, was edited. And if we only concentrated on the intricate details to how we would have made the story better, I really, really feel Game of Two would have been one of our best projects, so far. Strange that people actually really like this film.
yeah,
Sometimes as a creator, you really don't know.
you people whining me.
Yeah, like that was how I was feeling reading the comments like some months back. It was like, someone actually did a whole field review on the film, and it was just crazy to see. Sometimes you talk down on things you create, not knowing that somebody somewhere really likes it and does not really care about the flaws because it speaks to him or her in a certain way. I think that wraps it up for me on Game of
Yep.
Two. Any last words?
Anything he said